Shabbos.
Stand so I
don't know,
can
did they
see
come
you and so you can see me. I'm so happy there are so many of us here tonight. And I'm so sad that as of yet in this office, we have not yet had like the miracle of the loaves and the fishes, or, you know, the walls that expand to accommodate all of the people who show up and then retract to then be our office on a Friday night. I'm so glad you found chairs. All right, amazing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to trust that Wilbur Dean, this gentleman right here, is masterminding and helping everybody find a place. Thank you so much. And so what I'm going to do is relinquish my need to figure it out from here, because that's what I want to do. What I am like, oh, but there's one over there and there's one over there. Does anybody have a chair near you or a seat near you right now? All right, put your hand in the air. This is the last time that I will try to solve from my purview. Over there too? All right, wait, Will, so just so you can see where it looks like one yonder and one yonder. All right, great.
There's also this lovely floor. Is it a fire hazard, maybe? But,
And then raise your hand if your lap is available. No? Okay. All right. We don't know each other that well yet. Okay. There's this moment 3/4 of the way through this week's Torah portion where our protagonist is having a conversation with God, as Moses is wont to do. But it's his first one. It's his first conversation with God, and he's just sort of out doing his job as a shepherd when God appears to him in this burning bush. You're probably familiar with the story. And God has to say his name twice to get his attention. And when he does, when God does, when the character of God does, he, she, they do finally get Moses' attention, God says, Moses, take off your shoes. The place you're standing is holy ground. And I need your full and undivided attention for the conversation we're about to have. And then Moses kind of needs to wait patiently for further instructions. And the thing is about Moses is like what we know about him to this point is patience is not his strong suit. Right? And so why is Moses in the desert being a shepherd? Well, a series of things, one to the next, led to, a series of events that led him to be there. But the first, well, we could go further back, but the first event that led him to become a fugitive was his impatience for injustice, right? Growing up in the palace, having everything he ever needed, not lacking for anything, and yet one day seeing an Egyptian taskmaster beating a Hebrew slave and looking at that and saying, that's wrong. It wasn't a calculated decision. It wasn't a strategic decision. It might have even been a bad decision, but he could not abide injustice. He killed the Egyptian and buried him in the sand. And then the next day, he sees two Hebrews fighting, and he's like, wow, I'm so good at conflict resolution. Maybe I should actually intervene. And they basically are like, who do you think you are? Get out of here. We don't need your help, Mr. Big Shot. We heard about what you did to the Egyptian. And Moses, the matter is now known. They know what I did. I should leave. And then he leaves, and he finds himself in the land of Midian. And he sees these nice young women like at the well filling up their jugs. And some local shepherds start harassing them. And he's like, oh no, you didn't. And he goes over and he intervenes. It's not clear what he does, but all the girls come home and they say to their father, this really nice guy just interrupted violence down at the well on our behalf. Sorry? I'll tell you more about that story later. But the point is Moses kind of can't help himself from intervening in a situation where something is wrong. He can't help himself. And he's really tired. He's really tired. After all that upstanding, at a certain point, he actually doesn't want to do it anymore. Like he becomes a shepherd because he just wants to be left alone with his sheep in the fields. And so when God says to him at that burning bush, Moses, you're the right man for the job. I want you to go, and you're going to go to Pharaoh, and you're going to say, let my people go. Moses pushes back. Moses isn't like, yes, thank you. You chose the right person. He says, well, first of all, why would anybody trust me? Why would anybody listen to me? And then once God, sort of responds to that concern, then Moses says, look, let's be honest. Every other time I've ever intervened in anything, it's been physically. I have physically put myself between this person and this person. I am not a good talker, God. And God's like, all right, we'll fix that too. You're going. But what I hear under all of Moses' protestations is that he is an exhausted activist. He just wants to be left alone. He knows what's going on back in Egypt. He knows. And he just doesn't want to deal with it. Who could blame him? Who could blame anybody for just wanting to shut out the world and just be in a quiet space where people leave you alone and the world isn't happening to you or happening to other people, and creating inside of each one of us the feeling that we should do something? How do we intervene? How do we do something, anything, to stop what feels like a train wreck happening before our eyes? And then it's Friday night. It becomes Friday night, the sun sets, and Shabbat enters the world. And Shabbat says to all of us, exhausted, frustrated, irate, activisty people, don't try to fix it right now. Stop trying to fix everything. For one day, take a deep breath. For one day, you need to replenish your soul, your spirit. For one day, you need to sing. You need to feel a little bit of joy. You need to remember that you have it in you to feel joy, to feel connection with other human beings, as a Jew, with other Jews. We take a break from the dopamine hit addiction that we have to scrolling and seeing the bad news. I don't know what's the matter with us, because we both don't want to see it and also we're addicted to looking for it. So we take a day to pause from all of that and become more human. This, what we're doing here, this is our burning bush. This is the creator of the universe saying to us, take off your shoes. You don't have to take off your shoes here. Metaphorically, take off your shoes. Get comfortable. Be at ease. Take a breath. Become present. Right? God had to say Moses' name twice. He was so distracted. Become present to your body, to the people around you, to what's good. So I just want to invite you for a moment to look around and smile at the people who are here, who decided instead of staying at home tonight and binging Stranger Things or, I don't know, the Taylor Swift documentary, whatever you're watching these days and could have been watching right now or reading, you came here. Just take a moment to look around and just take in some of the faces of people you've never seen before and smile at them. And maybe mouth Shabbat Shalom to somebody you know and somebody you don't know. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah,
I love that. Helping with my mask.
Shabbat Shalom. And I want to say to everybody who's at home with us tonight, which is many people, We love you, and you're here with us too. We know you're here, and we're there with you. And Shabbat Shalom to you. Say hello to one another in the chat tonight.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking it.
I love how the silent Shabbat Shalom became a whole conversation.
It's a room full of Jews.
We can't help ourselves. All right. I want to ask us to do like Moses and put our feet on the floor and sit up a little bit straighter. You can close your eyes if it helps. Shabbat is the end of a 7-day cycle. And it punctuates the end of last week and the beginning of next week, and we just rest right in the center of it. Right in the center, as if balanced. And so I want to invite you to sit up a little straighter and to breathe and find balance in your breath. In and out. And I'll invite you to take 7 breaths, just releasing the week, one day at a time. There'll be more time for talking later, but let's sing together. We're on page 2.
Be
להגיע לארץ ישמחו עם רבים. There are 7 psalms that make our way through Kabbalat Shabbat. Some of them we'll do out loud. Some of them you can do quietly, read through on your own, find words, even in the English, that stand out to you, lines, phrases that capture your attention and your imagination. Picking up on 5. Zaru ala tzadik uleishrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vehodu lezecher hodsho yizmor shul Adonai shir chadash ki niflaot asa hoshia lo yemino uzroa kodsho chasdo v'emunat v'yul Adonai kol haaretz yiram hayam u'malot yevel yoshveva Top of 6. Lifnei Adonai kiva, lishbot haaretz, yishbot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amim b'meisharim. They will sing for Adonai who comes to judge the earth. Adonai will judge the world with justice, all nations with fairness. Adonai malach yirgazu amim, yoshev kerubim tanut haaretz. Adonai b'tzion gadol, v'ramhu al kol ha'amim. Justice, you have established fairness and instituted among our people the rule of law and righteousness. Exalt our God, the one who is holy and bound deeply in God's presence. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'yishtachavu lehar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We're on page 7. If you're able to stand, I want to invite you to join me in rising. Mizmor leDavid, Havu l'Adonai, Bnei Elim, Havu l'Adonai, Kavod la'oz, Havu l'Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai, Hadat Kodesh. Kol Adonai, al hamayim el hakavod yirim, Adonai. before our service, every single time we do a service, the davening team will all take a moment to ask ourselves, what's the energy we want to bring into the service tonight, regardless of where we came from? Where do we want to take it? And I always think of this moment when we say, Boi b'shalom ateret ba'ala, come in peace. You lover, you soulmate. This song is a song to our soulmate. Come on in. Come bless us. Come give us Shabbat. Come Shabbos bride. Come on in. Bless us with whatever it is that we need to make this Shabbat what we want it to be for ourselves, for the people around us. So I want to ask us to do the same thing the davening team does, but out loud together. And just to say out loud, what is the energy you want the Shabbos bride to waltz in here with tonight for you? What are you hoping for tonight? Gratitude, joy, peace, hope, justice, feeling and healing. I don't know which one I heard. And I'm just repeating it because of the folks online. Rest, patience, connection, trust, rest, comfort, wholeness, compassion, love. All of it come in peace. Boi b'shalom ateret ba'ala, kam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Now we welcome it all in. Boi chala, boi chala. Dodi likrat kala, Erei Shabbat nekabela. This is the moment in our service where if somebody just recently suffered a loss, like the loss of an immediate family member, they actually wouldn't come into Kabbalat Shabbat until this point in the service, because the point of Kabbalat Shabbat is joy. And when you've just recently lost someone, it's quite hard to access that, and you shouldn't really be expected to. And so this is the moment when you're invited in, and that's why at the bottom of page 9, there are these words of comfort for mourners. And so as I look around the room to Eileen and Michael, other folks that I saw at Margaret Lurie's funeral this week, and folks online who may be watching, her family, I want to say to you, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem Betoch Sha'ar Avlei Tzion v'Yerushalayim.
Amen.
May the Holy One bring comfort to you in this time of loss of a dear friend and a dear loved one. And if there's anybody else in the room, is there anybody else in the room who's in that place? No. Oh. Goodness. So to you as well, Lee. May you find comfort among our people and among all the mourners of Zion, Jerusalem, and anyone who is suffering with a loss. I think our country also all together is sort of in the place of needing these words of comfort. Now we take a seat. We find ourselves on page 10. Sorry. Gosh, Erica, I keep smacking you with my guitar. I'm sorry. I say I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep doing it. It's like it's not a real apology when you know you're going to do it again. What? Yeah, exactly. All right.
No, we're fine.
All right, so page 10 is Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat, a psalm of gratitude for the Sabbath day. We're going to sing the end of it, but because Shabbat is associated with gratitude, we always like to take this moment to actually, to name some things that this week, in the midst of the dumpster fire, you actually found yourself being grateful for, saying thank you for, saying hallelujah for. You could just shout it out.
The Bears.
So what do we say? Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Don't jinx it. M&M brownies.
M&M brownies. Amen.
Amen.
We affirm you.
A nice husband.
Oh, amen. Amen. Hallelujah for that. OMG. Oh, look at that. Amen. Yeah. Oh, sunshine. We had a couple nice days this week. Yes. Oh, look at that.
Yes.
Look at that reception.
My best friend's finally out of COVID lockdown.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Any other just... You bought an airplane ticket? Mazel tov. And you know what I'll say? Last Friday night when we were on break, my family and I went to a living room minion. We went to Lachuna Ranana, and it was in Rogers Park, packed into a little living room. And it reminded me of like the first service Mishkan ever did. And my kids read books the entire time. And at a certain point, actually, just like Karen was dancing with Ami over here, I got to pick up Adira and dance with her during a song. And I really enjoyed that because most of the time. What? Yes.
Wow.
We didn't do it right now. And that was the point.
Get the facts.
Yeah. All right. Benji, what key do we sing your Tzaddik Katamar in?
Capo 2.
In what's the... do we have a... This is long enough for you to have this. You want to just take it?
Benji. I'm sorry, this is my fault. I believe in you. Every day.
Page 11.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
Page 11.
We're on 11. You all, Benji wrote this one.
ישר השם, צורי ולא הבלטהו, להגיד כי ישר השם, צורי ולא הבלטהו.
עדותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך הקודש, אדוני יברך ימים. Well, welcome everybody. Is there anybody who's here in the house with us for the first time tonight? I'm asking that question knowing the answer is yes. Yay! We're so happy you're here! You get applause! You get applause. But also, we would love to know who you are. Chris, we don't have like that extra mic to, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Could you, thank you. We would love to know who you are and from whence you came. You don't have to tell us your whole life story, but maybe who brought you tonight? And what neighborhood you live in. Yeah, let's start over here. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay. There was one right, wait, it was, all right, great. You'll just, you want to stand up, all of you all who are new here tonight. And then that way you'll be able to see each other and pass the thing around. Yay!
We're Isaac,
I'm Stephanie.
and we just moved a couple months ago from Philadelphia and are looking for a new community.
Hey, well, welcome, Isaac and Stephanie. What neighborhood did you settle down in?
Avondale, Logan Square.
Okay, all right.
I'm James. I live in Lakeview, and yeah, this is the first time I've had Friday off, so I'm very grateful to be here tonight with all of you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Pastor Goulet up there. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Goulet, and I live in Lincoln Park. I am part of Standing Together, and so therefore I know about this group. I've been wanting to come out for a couple months now, but I wasn't able to, so I'm able to come tonight, and Gila was here as my little support shoulder, so it made it easier.
Beautiful. And for people who, yes, welcome. For people who don't know about Standing Together, ask Goulet about it afterwards. But if you're looking for any source of hope that comes out of Israel and Palestine these days, they are one.
Stand up, stand up. Sorry, I won't know who you are if you don't stand up.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Yael. I hail from down. You're Yael too? That's awesome. We'll talk. I'm coming from Downers Grove / Naperville area. I go to school there, but I was brought by Abigail, Brandon, and Veronica.
All right.
We're going to have Shabbat dinner after, and I'm really excited.
Right. Love, love, love.
Hate these things. Hi, I'm Wendy. I come from across the street. And I've been looking for a new synagogue for about 6 years since my brother died. And, everyone was saying that this is a great place to join. And I saw you guys over the summer, I think, when you had an open house at North Center to find out more information about y'all. And, when I saw on your Facebook that you were tonight here, I was like, oh, it's meant to be.
Meant to be. Meant to be. Right over here. Next. Oh, wait. All right.
Hi, I'm David.
Hello, David.
Live due west of here, Irving Park in Austin. But first was introduced from my wife, who said she teaches at Bernard Zalantiem at day school and said that the cool families go to Mishkan. So decided to come check it out. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Taylor. I'm from Lincoln Park, and my friend's other Yael brought me here.
You don't have to be other Yael. You can also just be Yael. Both of you can be Yael.
Both Yaels we love.
Okay, it's fine. Hi, I'm Other Yael. I live in Avondale, and I've been on your mailing list for like a year, and finally decided to leave my apartment on a Friday night. So.
That's
Right. All right.
That's the hard part.
Hi, I'm Susie, and I live in Evanston, and this is my first time here. And well, I came to Kol Nidre and Yom Kippur, and after Yom Kippur, I was like, I could stay here forever. So I came, and here I am.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and round of applause to everybody who ventured out tonight. And you know, Susie and David, they did intrepid things, which is they became builders. And so if yes, recently and less recently, but like if you've been thinking like, oh, I need inspiration in my life, I need community in my life, but I don't know anybody and I don't know, like it's hard. The way to get to know people is to show up more often. And the way to do that is to pay money. And then, you'll feel like you want to get your money's worth, and darn it, you will. And then all of a sudden, you'll discover that you're coming every Friday night and you have community and meaning and purpose and Judaism in your life. And we start healing the world just a little. So I'll put that out there. A couple after January 1st, we got a couple people who, when I wrote to them, like, what, you know, whenever anybody becomes a builder in this community, becomes a member, I send them an email and I'm like, hello, welcome. What led you to take this step? And everybody after January 1st was like, I've just been on your mailing list for years, and it was just, it was time. 2026 was the year. So I put that out there to anybody. Maybe 2026 is the year for you too. This is our first Friday night back, actually, in 2026. Thank God. I missed you all very much. As we were just getting ready to start, and I kind of looked out as people were sitting down, I was just so happy. I was so happy. I missed you. Even the people who are here for the first time, I missed you too. James, I missed you. And now we're back on schedule. We're on next Saturday morning at CJDS, and then the following Friday night. If Second Unitarian's flooding issue, the reason why we are packed in here like sardines is because Second Unitarian Church, the place that we usually meet in Lakeview, that has many more seats and more floor space, they flooded, and they were like, "You could come," but they said that the smell might be an issue, and we were like, We'll go with the maybe people taking off their shoes inspired by Moses smell, but not the sewer. So anyway, stay tuned for, you know, updates about location stuff. On January 30th, which is the last, it's like when there are 5 Shabbats in a month, we get creative with one of them. So on January 30th, we're doing a Get to Know Your Neighbors Shabbos. Jess Kaz is hosting. Are there any other hosts in the room? Oh, Hila is hosting in Oak Park. Any other hosts in the room? The idea was to distribute hosts all around the city and Chicagoland. And so if you want to just go to Shabbat dinner at somebody's home and get to know people, there are not themes. It's not, you know, by age or by identity. It's just like, do you want to go get to know some people? So look for that. All of this is in our weekly email. Also that weekend, it's Shabbat Shirah on the calendar, which is the week we read the Song of the Sea in the Torah. And so in honor of that, a great Jewish educator, musician named Akiko Yokinawa, who I have known for many, many years, happens to be in Chicago, and she's going to do a song circle here in the office, kind of like folk music, Jewish music, but just sort of the inspiration of the Song of the Sea being an excuse to get together and sing, which maybe is the theme of Mishkan. And not next Friday night, but the Friday night after, when we get together on the 23rd, we're having dinner afterwards. We are having our winter comfort feast. So we kind of do like one themed dinner, sit down, catered, a quarter. So that's our winter one. So look out for that. If you want to come, got to register. For people who want to dive into complex thoughts and feelings about what is happening in the Middle East, Rabbi Stephen, who is actually there right now, will be back and will be hosting his first Heart of Many Rooms of the year. And that's really just like a processing space, a non-judgmental processing space. And I think other than that, all of the various small groups, of which there are many, you're going to have to just read the email to see all the different things, because I'm not going to go through them all now. But make this the year when you meet some more people at Mishkan. Find your small group. I want to invite us to stand. We're going to go into Mariv. We're going to go deeper into our prayer service. We turn to page 13. It's funny, I feel like I have to apologize for leading the entire service, but like Rabbi Stephen's not in the country. Okay, so, all right. All right, oh, east is this way. All right, east is toward the ark. All right, we're on page 13. I call, you respond. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You can take a seat. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bidbaro ma'ariv ha'arabim b'chokhmah potech sherim u'b'tmona mishnei tim chalip et hazmanim masader kochavim v'mishmerotem v'akir kirtzon borei yom v'layla gol ha'or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or u'ma'ariv yom u'meivi b'layla yom u'mei layla Adonai tzvaot shemo el-chai v'kayam tamidim lo'ameinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'mariv ha'rabim 14 Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta Torah mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadat al keinu Adonai b'shach beinu v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu yameinu v'hakemenu v'layla v'avtecha al tasir mimenu le'olam va'im Baruch atah Adonai Ohevu Yisrael. Pause. We cover our eyes for every word of the Shema. We take a full breath.
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מידותיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושמעתם בבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
To love God with all your heart and serve God with all your being, so that you and your children will flourish on what God promised your ancestors as the many days remain in the heavens and the earth. Continuing page 16 and 17, we'll pick up at the bottom of 17.
תזכרו עשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם לקדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
You redeemed us from the clutches of evildoers. You are a ruler who redeemed us from tyrants, avenged our oppressors, and gave all our mortal enemies what they deserved. Can't believe this is in our davening. Toward the bottom of the page. Umalchuto beratzon kivu aleihem, Moshe u'Miriam b'nei Yisrael,
Lecham shira v'simcha rabba u'emru chulam. Chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot osefet. Utecharu banav, bokeh mipnei Moshe, zeli anu ve'amru.
So we always say these words of Hashkivenu. They're part of every evening service, but I just want to say them in English together, thinking tonight about all of the people who are sitting with fear to leave their homes, fear of random violence, fear of losing everything. I just want to take a moment. Hashkivenu was written only for the evening prayer service because before electricity, nighttime was a scary time and an uncertain time and a time when people were more in tune with fear. All of the things that could go wrong, all of the things that could disturb your peace and the peace of the people you love. And now we have electricity, and so we have lights, and so you actually have to imagine what it feels like to feel that kind of fear. But I think for many people in this room, you don't have to imagine very hard. And on a week like this week, you don't have to imagine very hard. So I want to just take a moment to pray these words in English together. I'll read in English. May you, Adonai, help us sleep in peace, and may you afterwards restore us to life. May you spread over us your sukkah of peace, and may your guidance enable us to grow. May you save us because that is your essence. May you protect us and banish from us all enemies, plague,
sword, hunger, and pain. May you remove all evil spirits from our path. May you protect us under the shadow of your wings. For you, Adonai, you watch over us and protect us, and you are a ruler who provides grace and mercy. May you guard our comings and goings, for life and for peace, now and forever. Spread over us your sukkah of shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who spreads your sukkah of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
And I'll just ask you to think for a moment about anyone who you're praying for, whose health you're praying for, whose spirit you're praying for, whose body and mental health you're praying for. Just take a moment. On the count of 3, we'll just say all those names out loud and populate this space with all of the people who we're thinking about. 1, 2, 3. I want to pray for the family of Renee Nicole Good and her 3 children. I want to pray that we're able to hold on to the possibility inside of ourselves, a vision of a country that takes care of each other, and where the people entrusted to care for peace create peace, and where we participate in that creation of peace. Pray for a refuah shlema for everyone whose name you said too.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'ha'amideinu Shomreinu L'chaim L'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'ha'amideinu Shomreinu L'chaim L'chaim Ufros aleinu Sukat Shelomecha Ufros aleinu Sukat Shelomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'ha'amideinu Shomreinu L'chaim
Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch ata Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We're going to stand and turn to 20.
Shamro b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat Na'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי
בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו צב שבטה תושבחתה ונחמתה דהרם ברמה ואמרו אמן.
The Amidah is on page 21. That's the standing personal prayer. It's done quietly and to yourself in the evening. You can use this time to daven the words on the pages. They run 21 through about 28. where you can take this time to close the book and think about where your own prayers are sitting on your heart tonight, and intone them in quiet, quiet words on the tip of your tongue, and we'll come back together in a few moments. I'm on 26 if folks want to join me. If you're still davening, you do you. Shalom
Tasim leolam, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, v'chitoneinu leposha b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
I think I might want that passable microphone back. Is that a thing? Thank you. So my question that I want to start tonight with is, there's one verse. Well, first of all, I should start by saying the Torah is very economical with words. What it can say succinctly, it says succinctly. And so whenever there's repetition in the Torah, it's very important because it means something. There's not a lot of repetition in the Torah. There are some interesting examples of when it does appear. So for example, in the 10 Commandments, you get the 10 Commandments twice. It's kind of interesting, but just twice. There is one line that is repeated in the Torah no fewer than 36 times. We know it, right? I'll say it in Hebrew. Ki gerim hayitem be'eretz Mitzrayim. And you can say it with me in English if you want, if you know what I'm going to say. Because you were a stranger in the land of Egypt. And the word ger means stranger, and it also means immigrant. And it's not always clear what it means in context. Sometimes it means stranger, sometimes it means immigrant, sometimes it means both. But the question of why that line appears 36 times when the Torah is in general so economical about language, one has to wonder. Aiden already has his hand up, so I feel like I have to pass the mic over to Aiden. Do you have an idea? Well, I have a question. Of course, you're so Jewish, Aiden. You have a question. You have a question. Yes. All right.
Well, 36 times. Are they all meaning the same thing? I mean, we've got words, that have 8 or 10 meanings, and we use them in all 10 every day.
Thank you for asking that question. This seems relevant. I'm glad you asked it. It is often to preface a mitzvah, but a particular genre of mitzvah, which are mitzvot that protect the vulnerable. So, you will not pervert justice for the widow or the orphan or the stranger, for you are a stranger in the land of Egypt. You will love the immigrant who resides among you, for you are a stranger in the land of Egypt, right? You will love your neighbor as yourself, for you are a stranger in the land of Egypt. So thank you for asking. In general, when that line occurs, it is usually attached to a mitzvah. Why? Okay, all right, we've got a teenager in the back, inspired by Cora's intrepid willingness to share. Okay, yes, what do you think?
Well, to reference.
I don't know what's going on with I don't know if it's you or the mic. All right, don't use the mic.
It's the headphones.
Oh, it's the headphones. Destroy them.
These, I'll have you know, these help me greatly. Okay, no, well, I mean, like, to quote a very famous, maybe a proverb, the thing with Hillel where the guy's like, hey, teach me the entire Torah while I stand on one foot, and Shammai beats him with a stick, and Hillel's like, well, it's, I think it's Shammai and Hillel. I feel like...
No, you got it, 100%, yes.
But Hillel's like, what you do to others, like, what you wouldn't want done to you, don't do to others, the rest is commentary. I feel like this very strongly, like, kind of, like, completes that, like, what you do to what you don't want done to yourself, don't do to others.
Yes.
For you were once a stranger in the land of Israel, for you were once an immigrant, for you were once susceptible and vulnerable to said things. So, especially since it's attached to a mitzvah, it's like, do this because how did it feel? Do this because how did it feel? Do this because you were once in a position to have this done to you, and look where you are now in a position to do something better.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Put your hand in the air if you were about to say something similar, and now you don't have to because Cora said it for you. Okay. Did you have something, Ben? All right, pass it over to Ben. Oh, wait.
I can project.
All right, but I want the folks online to hear you too.
For the folks online, I'll take that.
All right. You pass
Do it.
Thank you.
Do
Thank
it for
you.
the people on the chat.
So I'm applying for my master's in social work right now, and I was writing. Thank you. And I was writing my essay, and I had a word count to hit, so I was able to expound on this theme a little bit. And I referenced this specific thing in my essay, and I had time and space to wax on it. And if the Shema proclaims like the oneness of God and the oneness of all being, what are strangers? Is there a stranger, or does this like repetition to welcome the stranger, to serve the stranger, for you were once the stranger, remind you that there is no difference between you and the stranger, that there is no strangeness or difference Of course there's difference, but we are all one in this really fundamental way. And welcoming the stranger heals God's broken being. It brings the world back into order and
Where are your hidden headphones?
and reaffirms the oneness of God. That's it. Okay.
Nice job.
Yes.
Ben works for an organization that resettles refugees and immigrants. Thank you. Nice. Wait, somebody behind me? Somebody behind me? Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. All right. Thank you.
I don't have headphones, so hopefully nothing will happen. I want to add to this, and I love you know how it feels. Is there really such a thing as a stranger? I have a question and a comment. Is the you singular in the phrase?
No, it's plural.
That's the way I wanted to go, so I'm glad that it was. Yes, yes. Sorry, I can't be seen on the camera, but that's okay. It's a mystery to everybody online. You know what it's like to be an orphan. You know that's somewhere in the Jewish community, somebody knows viscerally what that is like, to be abandoned, to be hurt, to be left behind and in so much pain and agony. And so we as a people need to understand what that is like and have empathy. And even if I don't have that experience, I need to understand that the person telling me that they're having that experience is having that experience. And I need to empathize and feel it as if it's my own pain. As if I was the stranger in the land of Egypt at that moment, that person who's experiencing that. So I wanted to bring that communal sense to it as well.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, one more. Rich.
I'm not Jewish.
It's okay, we love you anyway.
And I want to say that this resonates with me just as much as it resonates with any of you. This is not just a Jewish truth, it's a human truth. It's true for everyone.
Thank you, All right. So we could go on, and believe me, I would like nothing more except a couple of you are having dinner together tonight. I don't want to keep you here for too long. I always understood this verse in basically the way that all of you are pointing. Although Ben, you complicated it just a little bit in a way that might totally undermine my thesis here, but it's no, only on the, but not really, because there's like God's mystical oneness that includes all of us, and then there's the fact of the matter, which is, you have people of different backgrounds, races, ethnicities, experience, language, and that sometimes creates othering. And doing our best to transcend it is what I think the Torah is inviting us to do. But also, like a lot of what's fun about who we are is exactly those differences. So anyway, I thank you for what you said. And I wanted to lean into the strangeness of the stranger this week. I had an insight about these words, you were once strangers in the land of Egypt, that I've never thought of before, but that I think is actually at the heart of this. And it's at the heart of a claim that I think the Jewish tradition makes relentlessly, hence the 36 times in the Torah. And that is that the purpose of Torah is to teach us how to be strangers in Egypt. Yeah. Thank you. The purpose of Torah is to teach us how to not become Egypt. Oh, okay. Thank you. To never accept the way things are when they are Egypt. To always be a stranger to that, right? And so obviously now, for anybody who's just kind of meeting Judaism for the first time, so when we're talking about Egypt, we're not talking about like the physical nation state on the on the map, just right, southwest of Israel and Palestine. We are talking about the ancient biblical archetypal Egypt, right? Pharaoh's Egypt. We're talking about a place that represents, I mean, in Hebrew, the word mitzrayim means narrow place. And it is like paradigmatically, archetypally, a place of oppression where force and domination are the currency, right? And so the Torah tells us you are strangers there. Not just you were strangers there once as immigrants, but rather we must continue to be strangers when our land becomes Egypt, right? As the political philosopher Michael Walzer says, wherever you live, it's probably Egypt. And so when the place you live becomes Egypt, you be a stranger there. And so part of what we need to do is not accommodate ourselves to injustice or turn a blind eye and a cold shoulder, right? When we hear and see things that remind us of Egypt, you know, that feel chillingly like what we read about in the Torah, we have to hone the muscles that help us remain strangers to those notions so that we can resist them and maintain our moral center, so that we can, in the words of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, have moral grandeur and spiritual audacity. That doesn't happen when you just blend in to Egypt. So this week's Torah portion opens up with the reminder of all of the children of Israel, all of the children of Jacob, who went down to Egypt seeking sustenance during a famine, and they were actually welcomed there, right? There was a time in which Egypt was a welcoming place for immigrants, right? For a time, all of Joseph's family, right? Joseph went down first, then his whole family comes, and then they proliferate, they grow. They are treated well, and especially well, as Joseph is their advocate in the palace. But then, this week, the book of Exodus opens, chapter 1, verse 8. Vayakom melech hadash, and then a new king arose, who did not know Joseph. And it goes on. And he said to his people, look at the Israelite people. They are more numerous and stronger than we are. Let us deal shrewdly with them so they don't expand. Otherwise, in the event of a war, they might join our enemies and rise up from the ground. Right? Listen to Pharaoh's language. Us and them. They are more numerous than we are. They are a demographic threat to us. They might replace us. They won't be loyal to us. They will rise up from the ground like vermin, like bugs. They're infecting our society from within, right? This is the time-honored playbook of the tyrant, of the authoritarian. And so begins a verbal public relations campaign that leads to the physical brutalization of the Israelites. It starts off with words, right? With creating a sense of suspicion and fear, a bad othering of the people who were, up until that point, actually all peacefully coexisting together and sharing land and resources, right? But that's precisely what tyrants do. And all it takes is one insecure leader with a nose for marketing, right? To incite fear and suspicion and drive people who actually once trusted each other apart in suspicion, making them easier to control and dominate once they are fractured, telling people that their power must be maintained at all costs if there is to be order and safety in this society. And if we need to hurt people in order to maintain order and safety, well, those people weren't really like us anyway. They were dangerous, right? Take our word for it. So the rabbinic commentator Rashi, when looking at the opening verses of the Torah, asks the question, if the purpose of Torah is to teach God's commandments to the Jewish people, why not begin the Torah with the first commandment to the Jewish people, which doesn't happen when the world is created in 7 days, you know, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. The first commandment given to the Jewish people is when God tells Moses to tell the Israelites in Egypt to start keeping a calendar based on when they go free from Egypt. To stop keeping time according to their masters, their slave masters' calendar, but to start keeping their own calendar as free people. That is the first mitzvah in the Torah. And so Rashi says, if the point of Torah is to teach Jews mitzvahs, then why not just start there, right? And in this case, right, not just why start all the way back at Genesis, but why give all of this context about Pharaoh and about enslavement in Egypt if actually what we need to know is Nisan is the first month on the Hebrew calendar. And you always celebrate Passover on the 15th of the month of Nisan. And the answer is, of course, the purpose of Torah isn't only to teach Jews mitzvahs. It is that, but it is also to help us know when we're descending into Egypt, to paint a picture for us so that we can resist it with every tool in our social and religious and ritual and legal toolbox. The purpose of Torah is to inspire Jews to create an anti-Egypt wherever we go, whatever society we live in and build. And so the worst thing that could happen to us as Jews is that we might hear the words, for example, that Stephen Miller said this week, talking to Jake Tapper, and just shrug it off, right? So if you missed it, what he said was, we live in a world where you can talk all you want about international niceties and everything else, but we live in the real world that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. These are the iron laws of the world since the beginning of time. When we hear these words, we should shudder. Right? Because close to 4,000 years of reading a Torah whose purpose is to help us maintain moral traditions that act as a counter-narrative to Egypt have honed our spidey sense that a person talking about complete control and domination is very dangerous. Even if some of us are included in the us that he's talking about protecting. We hear those words, and we hear echoes of Nazi Germany and the juntas in Argentina and the Spanish Inquisition and the Crusades and the Roman Empire and the Babylonian Empire, all the way back to Pharaoh's Egypt. But as I was thinking about all of this, and speaking tonight, I have to admit, I've been giving some version of this drash since 2016. And I'm bored. I'm actually bored of it. And you don't need me to tell you that the kinds of things that we're hearing from the government of the country in which we live, let alone another country that we care very much about on the other side of the world in Israel, that we hear things that remind us chillingly of what we read about in the Torah in Egypt. You don't need me to tell you that. Now, as a rabbi, I sort of feel like I have to go on the record to say, I'm noticing it too, you guys. But, but it's not actually what I want to talk about. It's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is how we stay human in Egypt, how we sing in Egypt, how we dance in Egypt, how we have joy in Egypt, how we are creative, how we don't lose our essential humanity, how we have fun together, wherever we are, including in Egypt. So that's what I wanted to spend a couple more minutes talking about tonight, if that's okay with you. Is that okay with you? Okay, great. So that before the Torah introduces us to Moses as the great confrontational, impatient activist, the Torah introduces us to a couple people who resist Egypt long before the idea of liberation is even imaginable, right? People who show us that the idea of resistance can look like a lot of things and doesn't necessarily look like confrontation or big speech making. It can look like everyday choices we make from our homes, from our jobs, and our lives, right? The story is not just the story of Moses, the great liberator. In fact, you don't really read much about him when you open up the Haggadah at Passover, because the story shouldn't be about the one guy. It's a catalog. The story is a catalog of resistance strategies, both spiritual and tactical, that we can actually draw on. So the first ones I want to mention, and maybe you've heard of these before, but I just feel like they're worth lifting up, are the midwives Shifra and Pua. They work in healthcare. They are given a direct order from the state When you deliver Hebrew babies, kill the boys. And this is a kind of sick population control, right? Asking healthcare professionals to violate their conscience to follow a policy that does harm to real people. But any OBGYN in half the states in America and any pediatrician working with trans patients in America right now understands this quandary. The Torah tells us that Shifra and Puah feared God more than they feared Pharaoh. And so they refuse the order. They just don't do it. And then when Pharaoh says to them, what are you doing? They just lie. They just lie to his face about it. They say to him, Hebrew women, oh my gosh, they're so vigorous. They have these babies. They're out so fast. They're out before we can even get there. Just like you said, big guy, they're like animals, right? And it's amazing. It's like one of the Torah's clearest endorsements of nonviolent civil disobedience, right? They don't overthrow the regime. They don't quit their jobs in protest. They keep doing their jobs and they sabotage the system from within. And God sees this. The Torah describes that God sees this and rewards them for their courage. Many of us are not in the position to be like Moses, right? Dramatic confrontation. He had already lost everything when he went back to Pharaoh, you know? So we can't all do what Moses did, right? Some of us work inside of institutions. Some of us are responsible for the livelihoods of others. Some of us file reports or write grant reports or applications or deliver care or teach students, enforce policies, or don't. Right? Sometimes resistance looks like quietly just not cooperating and bending the rules in the direction of human dignity and care. Sometimes it looks like smiling politely. Women are really good at this. Smiling politely while not being entirely truthful. Maybe all of us are really good at that. The Torah says there's a really holy form of resistance that happens quietly and subversively and from within systems that do harm, and that's Shifra and Puah's model. Just putting that out there for you, for whatever it's worth. But then we also meet Bat Paro, Pharaoh's daughter. She's a different story because she doesn't work within the system. She is the system, right? It's her family. Pharaoh's her dad. The Torah describes her going down to bathe in the Nile, which is a strange place to bathe considering it is soaked in the blood of Hebrew children at this point in the story. So you have to wonder, what is Pharaoh's daughter doing going down to the Nile to bathe? Well, she discovers a little boy in a basket, and she knows exactly what it is as if she went looking for it. And she takes this Hebrew child into her home and raises him like he is her own son. And invites everyone in the palace to also recognize that this Hebrew child is human and is part of the family. And Pharaoh might not like it, but he loves her. And look, it's only one person. And we'll raise him like an Egyptian. He'll be Egyptian, like us. And in the meantime, Bat Paro, this hero, gets to know Moses' sister, who of course is sort of running along on the bank and says, you know, do you need help? I'm here. And then introduces herself to Moses' mother, Yocheved, to nurse him. And she begins to build solidarity with Moses' whole family to raise Moses as an Egyptian, knowing his Hebrew identity. Pharaoh's daughter is the transcender of the categories that are used to divide and separate us. The reminder of our shared humanity, our oneness. Right? So that already makes her a hero. But also, how many of us have walked away from relationships with people who we deem to be morally compromised or somehow morally problematic because they believe something or are involved in something, a system that we believe causes harm to people, and we just can't anymore? Right? And Bat Paro's model is precisely the opposite. She doesn't end those relationships. She leverages them. Right? So when the moment comes to offer her perspective She is there at the dinner table, so to speak, at the Seder table, so to speak, to offer the perspective of the person who isn't there to speak for themselves, to give the voice to the hated and the marginalized, the people who are spoken about as a them in those tables, in a way that her family can hear, and she knows what that is because she knows them, right? To complicate all the stereotypes and all of the propaganda in a way that her family can hear, as only family can. I would imagine that all of us have at least one person in our life who we've asked ourselves, is it worth continuing to have conversations with this person or these people? And I feel like the Bat Parot model is not to cut people out because they are doing something or saying things that get under your skin or are deeply, deeply immoral, because it might actually change history for you to remain in relationship with them. I'm thinking about Mordecai speaking to Queen Esther, saying, you were put in the palace for just such a moment. Don't squander the opportunity. All right, so there's one more person, and he has a whole parsha named after him in a few weeks, so I don't want to spend a ton of time on him, but Yitro. Now, Yitro we meet after Moses strikes down the Egyptian and after he runs away. Yitro is the Midianite priest. And he what he does in this parsha is less well known. So his daughters, as I mentioned earlier, they come back from being harassed out at the well, and he says to them, why'd you come home early? And they say, oh my gosh, we were getting harassed by these shepherds, but then this hot Egyptian man comes and not only does he save us, but also he draws water for us, so that's why we're back early. He just did the job for us. Anyway, here we are, Dad. And Yitro says, where is he? Why didn't you invite him over, you idiots? Let's have him over for dinner. I feel like there's a spiritual, or not even a spiritual, a social timidness that many of us now have, and I think part of it has to do with cell phones, where we assume that other people are too busy to talk to us, or that we'll be interrupting something if we impose ourselves on people by, for example, inviting them over to dinner, or our house is not fit to host guests, so never mind. I'm not, America used to be a much more social place. It is a much less social place now. There are many books and many studies that talk about this in every sector of society. And I would wager, although I don't know if they've done an actual study on how often people have each other over for dinner, but I bet there's a lot less of that now than there was in 1960. And what Yitro does is he says, let's have a stranger over for dinner who did a nice thing. We don't even know his name, but he did a nice thing. Could you go get his digits? Go find that guy. And they invite Moses over for dinner, and he accepts. And the Torah is really interesting because it doesn't have to say he accepts. The next scene could just be Moses at their house for dinner, but it says Moses consented to come over. And it's sort of like, it's important to know people actually do want to talk to you. I think. And so what happens at dinner is Moses falls in love with Zipporah, and they get married, and they build a family, and Moses stays in Midian and becomes a shepherd. And one thing leads to another, and God speaks to him at a burning bush. So this is to say, Yitro's lesson is have more dinners with strangers and maybe change history. Okay? Yes, thank you. But for real, please. For real. Okay, I want to draw this to a close. To mostly end where we began, which is to say, the purpose of Torah and the role of the Jew in the world, I really do believe, is to stand as a counter-testimony to what we see in Egypt, in the Torah, and everything that looks and talks and walks and feels like Egypt. All of the great empires of the globe in which Jews have lived are gone. We are still here. And it's not because we were ever the strongest or we conquered the most territory, but it's because we refused to acquiesce to the inhumanity and immorality of those societies that we lived in. We remained strangers. And sometimes that wasn't our choice. Very often, it was because they didn't actually want us to be part of them. But our tradition internally always cautioned us to remain a stranger. to be attached to the things about us that make us unique and different, not to give those away lightly. They're who we are. Kigerim hayitem be'eretz Mitzrayim. You were a stranger in Egypt. If they glorify domination, so we tell and retell the story of what it feels like to be a slave. Right? They glorify productivity, working 7 days a week, nonstop. We insist on a weekly Sabbath. Right? We inspire the labor movement. When they worship power, we limit it. We teach our children stories of resistance and care and transcending the categories of religion and race and ethnicity because we believe in our core that we're all created in God's image, every single person. Judaism survived because we never mistook might for right. And we can't now either. So none of us can defeat Pharaoh by ourselves, and we shouldn't try. And it would be really nice, I know, if we had a Moses or a Martin Luther King Jr. or a Gandhi or, some great champion to lead us out of the darkness, challenging the charismatic forces of evil menacing our country right now, to bring their own charisma and brilliance. But in the absence of that person, you are charismatic and brilliant too. In the absence of Moses, we need you. Every single one of you, and me, to be leading from our seats in whatever way we can to resist becoming Egypt, to remain a holy stranger here in this place, which is our home. So may we be precisely that brilliant and that charismatic and that inspirational and that grounded in the Torah that is all of our inheritance, everyone's inheritance, to be able to fight the good fight. Thank you, everybody. I want to invite you to stand. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Speaking of, we're going to turn to page, let's see. We're going to turn to page 32. We'll do OZ afterwards for people who want to keep singing. Aleinu l'shabeach Adon hakol, latenu l'yotzei Breshit, shelo asanu k'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'goraleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu kolim, משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. We're on the bottom of 32.
כי אדוני
you can take a seat if that's not you, but if there is somebody tonight who you came to say Kaddish for, I want to invite you to stand. And we're just going to go around and hear the names of the people that we're remembering tonight.
Alan Slewinski.
Philip Reardon.
My brother, Michael Wade.
My student, Layla.
Margaret Lurie.
Linda Crowder.
Debbie Friedman.
Was today her yard site? Oh, thank you. Pass it that way. Pass it that way.
My mother, Gertrude Grossman. It's her yard site.
Pass it to Benji and pass it back to Michelle.
My mother, Sharon.
My friend, Erin Muller.
Rob Reiner.
May all of their memories be blessings. And also, Renee Nicole Good. Mourner's Kaddish is on 34. Yitgadal, V'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach leruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon u'vyomechon u'chayev tol Beit Yisrael,
ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen.
Yehei
Shmei Rabbah mevarach l'olam l'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitmamam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudsha brichu. Le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nachamata. Damiram be'elma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. L'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol hajvei tevel v'imru. Amen.
Amen. May all of their memories be blessings. And Linda, you made me think like we now have to sing some Debbie Friedman songs. But before we do that, let's make Kiddush and Motzi, and for everybody who has dinner plans, release you, poor people. All right. Oh my gosh, we have three. They're going to go in three directions. Yes, yes, 1 and 2 and. All right, I want to invite folks to stand. If you want to join me, Kiddush is on page 30.
It's my favorite challah.
Let's see.
So pretty.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho v'hahava u'ratzon yichilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta v'yotanu, kidashta im kol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha v'yahava u'ratzon hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. Woo, the challah is revealed.
I smell the gluten.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead and pull it off, Emily. Now the challah won't feel sad that we're blessing something else first, because now it's the focus of our energy. You guys know that's why we cover the challah? Okay, we'll talk about all the challah's feelings another time. Okay. Our custom is, especially in this harsh, cruel world, where we're also disconnected, to reach out and just touch the shoulder of the person touching, who's reaching out toward the challah, embodying all of the hands that it took to create our sustenance tonight, our service. Thank you, JJ and Chris and Wilbur Dean and everybody who helped, like all the folks in the front who helped set up tonight, who will help take down tonight. Thank you, davening team. Thank you, everybody at home. We're sending you lots of love. We say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. We're going to send around this challah. There's food and wine in the other room. And we're going to sing some Debbie Friedman songs. Yeah. What do you think? Not by might. Thank you. What? Not by might. Duh. That's even on the sheet. What? She wrote that, man. She absolutely did.